Thank you to my Patreon supporters. A double shout out thank you to Xavier Zamora, Victor Vegas, Valimir Brokovich, Troy Smother, SafeMoon Oz, and Murad Shaker for being higher level patrons. You can join that for as little as $1 a month. There's a link down in the description below. Also, thank you to my YouTube members. You can click the join button below this video if you'd like to show your support there. Please keep in mind that I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinion. It's my own research. I highly encourage you to go do your own research. And with that being said, let's go ahead and dive on into this. This is a follow-up from what SafeMoon Zilla had shared over on Twitter. They said SafeMoon CEO John Karony talked today about the wind turbines at South by Southwest and announced there are two types of turbines. One that weighs 98 pounds and it's 600 watts, and the second one that's 300 pounds is 2,400 watts. Well, there's something interesting with this, and I want to kind of point out some things that I don't know if people really talking about just yet. So if you guys like this video, please, especially on a video like this, I mean all my videos, I'd appreciate it if you guys like it to help share it on social media so we can keep trying to grow the community here and to share the news information. But let's go ahead and touch on this specifically. 600 watts and 2,400 watts. The speculation with Semtive being the company that could be providing the wind turbines moving forward is now much, much more plausible. And the reason for that is that we can take a look over on their website and they have several options here, one of which is 600 watts, and then the other one that's 2,400 watts. And they also have this one here called the Move, which is portable or fixed enclosures. So there is the Nimoy S and the Nimoy M. I think that's how you pronounce that. I might be wrong. Apologies if I do mispronounce that. And I'm going to talk about these prices in just a second. You might be looking at that and being like, I wonder if he's going to say something. Yes, I'm going to mention about those prices. So there's a small, there's a small and there's a medium-sized one. And with Semtive, we know from what we've seen with these graphic images in the past, you can take a look at these right here. There's video footage of John Karony assembling one of these inside of their space there over in Utah, and also running the multiple tests that they had for that Operation Phoenix video. And it was not concrete. And as far as I could tell, it's technically still not concrete, but it looks way, way more plausible that they're going to be going with Semtive moving forward, not just for their testing, but for the actual implementation, right? So one thing was testing, the other one was like, well, what are they actually going to roll out? So this might be something that they license out to Semtive specifically for their hydrophilic nanoparticles, right? Obviously those tests, if they're using Semtive's products and they're applying it to that, and they could prove that it's more efficient, it would make sense to me if they had a license agreement that they went through with that company. I don't know if they would be using it for other companies as well. It'd be kind of interesting if the spray that they came up with, if it is actually original and unique in its own design, and you could apply it to any wind turbine, it'd be incredible. Think about it. Mass-scaled wind turbines that already exist, that they're not getting rid of. It's like, well, okay, go up there, put this stuff on it, boom. Now it's a little bit more efficient, right? Be very interesting to see how that plays out. But regardless of that, let's go ahead and go back. Let's go back over here for a second on the price. Because the wind turbines, there's NFTs that they said that will be coming out. I've touched on this a variety of times on my channel. So the idea there is that the real world wind turbine will be spinning. And it's generating electricity for the grid, for the people, right? And then in exchange for that, you could have an NFT of ownership of the generated revenue. They already said you would not actually own the wind turbine itself with that NFT. You're owning essentially the byproduct from it. So it is giving you SafeMoon rewards. Every time it turns, it burns, that kind of a thing that's been talked about. What we don't know publicly is what the cost of these NFTs will be. And some people would speculate and say it's going to be something much more affordable for the average everyday person, $100, $50, that kind of a thing. Well, what are they going to roll out with that? Well, when you have the small version of this at $3,600 and the medium-sized version at $14,980, there's no large version. I don't see that here. So yeah, as far as I know, they don't have a large version. So you're looking between $3,600 to about $15,000. That's a lot of money. And the average person, they probably can't afford that. The average person I know can't afford that. So how can you participate in something like this when the actual wind turbines themselves are so expensive? So what we need to take into consideration is a couple factors here. First up is that you don't actually own the you don't actually own the wind turbine itself. Remember that. So they could make the price of the NFTs whatever they want. The question is, that leads into the next part, how do you put more wind turbines in if these NFTs are not equated value? Depends on how the function of these NFTs are. Typically, when you look at a marketplace, the NFT market value is dictated based on whatever the person is willing to pay for it, or whatever the person that's willing to sell it gets a buyer for, right? Hope that makes sense. Basic commerce right there. In this circumstance, you could have it to where these NFTs start out, there's a whole bunch of them, and they essentially act as different tier level systems. You could have ones that maybe they're just flat. It's guaranteed. It's this value. It can't be changed. It's something with a smart contract format. And so it's a set value that's equated to the cost of an actual wind turbine, like $3,600. And then whatever that wind turbine produces is the amount of value that you would be receiving. So then if it went to the medium-sized one, $15,000, same kind of thing. Whatever the value is that produces, you get that kind of return back on it. But you could also do fractional. You could have 100 NFTs, all for just wind turbine. And then as revenue is being generated from that, from those sales, potentially that funnels in to being able to make more purchases of these wind turbines, to getting them installed, which then creates more NFTs on the market that people can participate in being able to purchase. Whether new ones come in now at a discounted price, I don't really know how exactly the mechanics of all of this would work in itself, but I would be very surprised if the NFTs launch and the only listed price is the price that we see here. I think it's much more feasible that you see some sort of a fractional based design where people can go in. And let's just use the first one, for example, $3,600. So $3,600. You do $100 a piece. That's 36 people that would be able to go ahead and essentially have an NFT equivalent ownership of that wind turbine, meaning that every time that wind turbine spins, whatever the value it produces, 36 people would be splitting that pot. If it does $36 a day of value, just to use as an example, then guess what? You got $1 that went out to every one of the individuals. It take you 100 days to be able to recoup your initial investment, and then anything after that is essentially gravy. But in reality, it's actually sooner than that. I kind of did some math on this in the past with the with the support of SafeMoon Gluebiz. Wow, it was a mouthful to say that. So we worked on a little bit of math, just speculating on things. And remember, when you earn SafeMoon from these things, SafeMoon in itself gets reflections. So not only would you have whatever the reward is from the wind turbines, but in addition to that, just how SafeMoon operates in itself. So it does compound and becomes exponential over time, especially as more trading obviously takes place. If there's no trading going on with SafeMoon, well, then you're just kind of relying on whatever's going on with the wind turbine itself. So let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments down below. I think it makes it very, very likely that Semtive is the one that they're actually going to install in the Gambia and other locations now at this point. Instead of them just kind of running tests and then looking to go with other partners, it sounds, based on what we're seeing here, I would put it at, personally, I would say 94%. Pretty darn high up there. Let me know what you guys think. I got referral links in the description if you want to get free crypto, free stock. Feel free to check that out. Protect your crypto with a cold storage wallet like with EllaPal. I do have a discount code in the description for that. If you are new to the channel, do not forget to hit subscribe. Hit the thumbs up like button. It definitely helps us out with the YouTube search algorithm. Click the bell icon so you know whenever we go live. God bless, and I will see you in the next episode.